and welcome to this week's edition of ETV News. I'm Lupe Marquez.
And I'm Yvonne Pineda.
The Willimantic man who was responsible for the stabbing on January 26 on Jackson Street was finally arrested this past Monday. Frederick Devin Savage, 31 of Willimantic, argued with his roommate's friend over the parking spot the friend had picked because it, quote, wasn't close enough, end quote. Savage was charged with first-degree assault for stabbing his friend in the neck with a box cutter type of knife. Missing a main artery by a centimeter, the victim has recovered and is doing well.
An East Avon man and a Western Connecticut State University student died early on Wednesday. According to state police, their vehicle veered off I-95 and crashed into a sound barrier. No other vehicles were involved, and the accident remains under investigation. Michael D'Angelo, 19, was pronounced dead at the scene at around 1 a.m., state police said. D'Angelo was a freshman at Western Connecticut State University and member of the school's baseball team, according to school spokesman Paul Steinmetz. Steinmetz said that D'Angelo lived on campus and that the university has made counseling services available to any students who need it. Our thoughts go out to the Western community and Michael D'Angelo's family.
Police are currently investigating what caused a deadly motorcycle crash in Eastford Monday evening. Police say that the car involved was traveling east on Route 44, also known as Promfit Road. As it started slowing turning left in the driveway at 142 Promfit Road, a motorcycle was traveling in the opposite direction and the two vehicles collided. The driver of the motorcycle, Torrance Botsford, was ejected from his motorcycle. Botsford was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver in the car, who was identified, suffered minor injuries and was taken to Wyndham Hospital for further medical treatment.
ETV's Andrew Rubash attended an RHA meeting in Laurel Hall to hear what important things they had to discuss. Let's see what happened.
I'm Andrew Rubash reporting here for ETV News. Tonight we are going to get an inside scoop on the RHA meeting inside Laurel Hall. Let's go in and take a look. RHA works hard each and every week to make sure Laurel Hall residents' experience is unique and enjoyable. These RHA meetings are held in the meeting room at 10 p.m. every Wednesday. We caught up with R.A. Tayshawn Ward and why he goes to RHA each week.
Well, I come to RHA every week because I would like to share my programs as well. And also the fact that not a lot of my residents go to RHA, so they let me know what kind of ideas they have, what kind of clothing they want. So I feel like I'm their voice. So I come to RHA so I can state what they need and what they would like in the residence home.
RHA e-board is constructed of a president, vice president, public relations, and a treasurer. Between these four e-board members, they run and organize each meeting. We sat down with Laurel's Hall director, Tony Gleason, who has an interesting and unique idea for his residents.
We've opened up the Laurel store, which involves having fake currency that we sort of have for the building itself. It's just a piece of paper that has a Laurel line on it, it's a denomination, and basically we buy everyday needed items like toilet paper, toothpaste, dish detergent, paper towels, garbage bags, and you show up to programs, meetings for RHA, RA programs and stuff, and you can receive these this currency, and then you basically see the RA staff and you can get those items as you need them.
We heard a lot of great ideas here at RHA in Laurel Hall. Now that we're at the halfway point, next up on the agenda is upcoming events for the residents here that live in Laurel Hall. These meetings are consisted of e-board members, RAs, as well as Laurel residents. It seems as though the Laurel residents are happy with what RHA has been doing this year. We asked Tayshawn what he would do if he were RHA president.
If I was RHA president, I'll try to coordinate that with my programs to see how I get my residents to come to programs. I'll try to coordinate that with the RHA attendants. Cause I see not a lot of people come to the RHA because of like if they don't have food, they don't come. So also I try to make it more elaborate with the students because I know what the students want since I'm a RA. The students come to me with the prompts they have, any ideas, what they like. So I'll try to coordinate that with RHA.
At every meeting, there are lively discussions about upcoming activities between residents and e-board members. These discussions is what allows the residents to voice their opinions on what they would like to see happen in the future. HD Tony describes these upcoming events.
Upcoming events on I believe it is in the first week of May, we're going to be doing a tie-dye program where we're ordering shirts that have Laurel all over, basically the Laurel lion on the front of it, and 2015, 2016, and it's going to be a large-scale tie-dyeing event. We're going to get a few hundred t-shirts and have buckets and everything like that for us to sort of go out with a bang for the year.
We just finished up RHA here in Laurel Hall. We heard about a lot of great things. We heard about a lot of different programs from RAs. One they mentioned was the Jail and Bail that's coming up. We also heard about an RHA program that they have coming up, a nice trip for the Laurel Hall residents. So it was a good way to go out, a nice way to end the semester here. And that'll do it here at Laurel Hall. I'm Andrew Rubash, reporting for ETV News.
Thank you, Andrew. It looked like fun.
On Wednesday, Treasury Secretary Jacob J. Lew announced that Harriet Tubman, the former slave and abolitionist, will replace Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill. Tubman, an African American and a spy for the Union, would bump Jackson, a white man known as much for his persecution of Native Americans and advocacy for the common man, to the rear of the $20 bill. In some reduced image, Tubman would be the first woman to be honored on paper currency since Martha Washington's portrait briefly graced the $1 silver certificate in the late 19th century. Images of women will also be added to the back of the $5 bill as well as the $10 bill. The final redesigns will be unveiled in 2020. The centennial of the 19th Amendment established women's suffrage.
As reported by WTNH News, a Killingly woman has been arrested after state police found 700 bags of heroin in the trunk of her car. Connecticut State Police say that they arrested 42-year-old Lori Ashmore of Killingly on Wednesday. Over past several weeks, troopers assigned to the Troop D Quality of Life Task Force learned that Ashmore had a large amount of heroin. Reportedly, it has either been stored in her Main Street apartment or her car. She is charged with possession of heroin with intent to sell and is being held on a $75,000 bond. She is due in court on Thursday.
We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back with Stephanie Alvarez and her editorial on the U.S. women's soccer team.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Hello, Eastern. My name is Stephanie Alvarez, and welcome to this week's editorial. On March 30th, 5 prominent members of the U.S. women's soccer team filed a federal complaint accusing U.S. Soccer of wage discrimination. Despite generating nearly $20 million more in revenue last year than the U.S. men's soccer team and winning with far more consistency than the men's team, players on the U.S. women's team earn as little as 40% of what the male players make. The complaint was submitted by goalkeeper Hope Solo, as well as Carly Lloyd, Becky Sauerbrunn, Alex Morgan, and Megan Rapinoe. In a statement released by team lawyer Jeffrey Kessler, Solo explained, "The numbers speak for themselves. We are the best in the world, have 3 World Championship Cups and 4 Olympic Championships." Kessler, who says this is the strongest case of discrimination against women athletes in violation of law that I have ever seen, also offered some background on the ongoing legal dispute between U.S. Soccer and the women's team. In early January, the Women's National Team Players Association submitted a reasonable proposal for a new collective bargaining agreement that had equal pay for equal work as its guiding principle. U.S. Soccer responded by suing the players in an effort to keep in place the discriminatory and unfair treatment they have endured for years. The U.S. men's team hasn't placed at a major event since 2002 when they made it to the quarterfinals at the World Cup. But U.S. Soccer argues that the pay discrepancy between the decorated women's team and the comparatively mediocre men's team is due in part to the latter's high attendance numbers. Still, Solo and the other women argue that the way the league's bonus structure works is unfair. According to SBN, the women would earn $99,000 each if they won 20 friendlies, the minimum number they are required to play in a year. But the men would likely earn $200,000 each for the same fee and would get $100,000 even if they lost all 20 games. Additionally, the women get paid nothing for playing more than 20 games, while the men get paid between $5,000 and $17,000 for each game played above 20. A discrepancy is also evident in the team's World Cup earnings. Although World Cup prize money itself is determined by FIFA, not U.S. Soccer, when the women's team won the World Cup in 2015, they earned a team total of $2 million. By contrast, when the men's team was eliminated in the 16th round of the 2014 World Cup, they earned a team total of $9 million. The team has received support from Clinton, Sanders, and the men's team and is rapidly approaching a deal with the U.S. Soccer Federation that will hopefully reestablish a fair salary. They definitely deserve it. Thank you for joining me for this week's editorial. I'm Stephanie Alvarez. See you next week, Eastern.
We'll be right back after these short messages.
Coming up next on ETV News, we take a look at Eastern's power plays. Also, Eastern students find out what it's like to be behind bars. All this and more when ETV News returns.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Did you find it?
We taught him how to hit a baseball.
Just like that. Set high!
How to hit a receiver.
Nice.
The strike zone. The net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m., WECS Radio Club will be hosting their annual Willie Stock Music Festival on the new Fine Arts lawn. With the addition of a few acoustic acts, the main performing bands will be The Sloof, Old Soul, The Mercs, and Dagwood. This year's Willie Stock is a charity, so WECS Radio Club will be collecting non-perishables for the Covenant Soup Kitchen and will be raffling off over $800 worth of gift card from local vendors, including Bliss Boutique, Cafe Mantic, Not Only Juice, Willimantic Records, The Adventure Park at Stores, Mansfield Movieplex, Lucky Strikes Bowling, and more. The event will also feature local vendors, free food, canned jam, tie-dye shirts, and live muralists who paint street arts in Willimantic. The event is free, so make sure to bring your friends and other students.
This Sunday, April 24th, the music program will be putting on a variety of Eastern Chamber ensembles. A few of them that will be featured are the Korean Samuel Ensemble, String Trio, and Woodwind and Brass Ensembles. The performance will take place in the Fine Arts Instructional Center from 2:30 to 4 p.m., and it is free and open to the public.
What better way to end the spring semester than with fireworks? The Springfest firework display will be on Friday, April 29th at the Mansfield Athletic Complex. The display is open to the local community and all Eastern students and staff. It will go from 9 to 10 p.m. They're supposed to be bigger and better than ever this year, so be sure to get there early and get the good seats at the baseball field.
ETV reporter Erin Fitzsimons went to check out Power Plays in the Fine Arts Instructional Center Theater. Let's see what she had to say about it.
Hey everyone, I'm Erin Fitzsimons here in the Studio Theater in the brand new Fine Arts building here at Eastern, where they are showcasing Power Plays. Eastern Connecticut State University Performing Arts Department and Drama Society present Power Plays. Power Plays is a director's showcase that will run from April 14th through the 18th. The shows that are being featured include Medusa's Tale, The Man Who Turned Into a Stick, Out of Our Father's House, and Loved of One's Neighbor. We spoke to theater student Anna Maria Docker for her opinion on the production.
The show's about different serious issues, and I really hope that they actually move forward with it and actually open the audience's eyes to issues that maybe we don't really cover today that we should.
We spoke to Caitlin McDonough, the director of Out of Our Father's House, a play on her take on the Power Plays.
Out of Our Father's House is by Eve Miram. It was a book she had written about 10 women. She took their letters and journal entries, and it was growing up female in America. And they took 6 of those women and made it into a show, but I'm only showcasing 5 of those. So it's a bunch of monologues of women from the women's suffrage era and things they had to overcome due to their gender. I always wanted to direct a show that has some social platform.
A key aspect of the Power Plays is that they're able to showcase advanced theater students' work. The lucky students that got to be showcased as directors include Ty College, Maggie Casto, and Caitlin McDonough, all whom have gone through advanced theater directing classes.
I think it's important that we have student directors with this show. They've worked very hard and they can show their talent, and it gives them an opportunity so when they graduate college and they move forward that they actually have this experience and they can put on their own production.
The Power Plays are a very rewarding experience for all of the cast and crew.
You have to come up with a concept that's going to keep people interested. So going into rehearsal, it was kind of like a organic process, as we call it, and just everything coming together. But I'm happy with the end result. Directing is actually a big part of our theater program. You have to take 4 classes, directing 1 through 4, and then if you want to student direct as well, you have to do stage management and work behind the scenes. And a lot of people don't know about it because you think of theater, you think of actors, and we have a lot of great acting courses as well, and they get to often showcase their work, but people don't know really what goes into directing. So if we work that hard and you want to be able to put your work out there and learn from it, because it's a learning experience as well.
We hope everyone enjoyed the show. Be sure to check them out as they run until April 18th. Coming to you from the Fine Arts Building, reporting for ETV News, I'm Erin Fitzsimons.
Thanks, Erin. It looked like a great time.
On April 25th from 12:30 to 6 p.m., People Helping People will be conducting a fundraiser for the Connecticut Humane Society. There will be a carnival with various outdoor games, prizes, food, and music. It will take place on Webb Hall lawn. PHP has been prepping for this fundraiser all semester. Their goal is to raise over $500 for this great cause, so be sure to stop by and have some fun and support the Humane Society at the same time.
Town Pride Town-wide is an event which occurs every spring. On April 30th, the local community will come together for a day full of spirit, teamwork, and fun Eastern clubs. Residence halls and groups of friends will work side by side with local volunteers to clean up nearly 20 sites in the Wyndham community. Projects include mulching, planting trees, sidewalk sweeping, and more. Following the event is a celebratory picnic which will be held at Memorial Park. If you are interested, and you can sign up at Eastern's website.
ETV's very own Lupe Marquez took to Webb Lawn to check out Eastern's most recent fundraiser, Jail and Bail. Let's see how it went.
How's it going, Eastern? My name is Lupe Marquez and we're reporting for ETV News. I'm standing on Webb Lawn for this year's Jail and Bail. Let's go check it out.
On April 20th, 2016, Habitat for Humanity put on their annual Jail and Bail. Jail and Bail is a fundraiser to get a warrant to arrest your friends or professors. Once in jail, they must raise money to make bail. The money benefits the Special Olympics and the local Habitat for Humanity chapter. We spoke to the club's president, Kevin Powell, to see what Jail and Bail is all about.
Well, Jail and Bail, we have a lot of sponsors that we get from the event, from going and asking local and businesses in most of our residents' hometowns. We then also have students who want to put their friends in jail, and then their friends end up raising money. So then, in turn, their friend, after they get out, they have a warrant that they could get for free in order to put a friend in jail, maybe as a little bit of a payback type thing.
The people that were jailed got free food and a t-shirt for being good sports. They called their friends and family to ask for donations. Many use social media to reach as many people as possible. Student bail ranged from $25 to $50. Faculty ranged from $45 to $100. We spoke to sophomore Tiffany Colon on her opinion on being jailed.
It's raising money again for a good cause. I'm hoping all this money goes to help everybody else out. So, even though I'm locked up, I don't mind being here.
This year's Jail and Bail raised $4,000. This money will be split between the local Wyndham area Habitat for Humanity and the Special Olympics. This club is known to raise money and does multiple community service projects locally.
I just think it's really good to raise money because you're not just going to one source of people. It's like you're asking so many different people to raise money for these two spectacular causes that we're raising money for.
Seems like things went a little awry for me at this year's Jail and Bail. We'll see you next time, Eastern. My name is Lupe Marquez, reporting for ETV News.
Thanks, Lupe. It looks like they had a really good turnout.
Another quick break, but we'll be right back with Zach Burnett and his sports update.
Up next on ETV News, we take a look at an emotional senior day on the lacrosse field. Also, we catch up on the rest of Eastern's spring sports. All this and more when ETV News continues.
Look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Welcome back. I'm Zachary Burnett with this week's sports update. With the 14-10 record on this season, Eastern has struggled as of recent, with a 4-game losing streak being snapped this past Tuesday against Western Connecticut, this being the baseball team. The Warriors went on to win a 6-1 in the conference play behind Alex Zachary's 2 RBIs and Chad Adams leading the team with 2 hits against Western Connecticut. John Parker picked up his 3rd straight win of the season, and Nick Riscotti earned his 2nd save of the season. But yesterday was different news and bad news. That of the Warriors, they want to put behind them. Eastern traveled to Brandeis College yesterday and fell to a team 16-6. The team had a total of 15 hits, and Alex Zachary went yard for the 5th time this year, which leads the team, but they fell short. Currently, they are playing Westfield State at the outdoor Mansfield Sports Complex. After today's game, they play host for 3 more games when Rhode Island College comes to town this Saturday for a doubleheader and Roger Williams on Sunday. And for the women's softball team, they have lost 5 of the last 8 games and are currently 12-18 overall in the season. This past Tuesday, they were victorious in both games against Western at home, but then fell to Babson at Babson in both games. The first game was tight when the Beavers squeaked away with a 2-1 victory. In the second game, the Beavers mercied the Warriors 13-5 in only 5 innings of work. Kayla Santos and Alyssa Hancock combined for 4 RBIs in the second game, but it wasn't nearly enough. Their next game is this Saturday when they play host to Southern Maine at 1 and 3 p.m. So come out and support your Eastern Warriors softball team this weekend. And if you can't make those games, they play Sunday the next day against Wesleyan at 12 and 3 p.m. For season leaders, Kristen Ryan leads the team with a .365 batting average, and Alyssa Hancock leads the team with 34 hits as well as home runs with 4. For pitching, Summer Cipriani leads the team with a 2.74 ERA and wins with 6. With an 8-5 record on the season, the women's lacrosse team has looked good in their last 2 home games with a total of 32 goals on the year, only allowing their opponents to 13. In their last game this past Tuesday, they came out victorious against a physical Western Connecticut Colonials team, with a 15-10 win. Paige Snyder scored a career-high 7 goals after scoring a previous career-high 6 goals last week at home against Framingham State. 6 different players scored for Eastern, while Michaela Pinto had a hat trick by herself. Paige Snyder leads the team with 41 goals on the season. Their next game is a conference game this Saturday at home against Plymouth State at 12 p.m. Currently, they are 2-1 in the conference and play 3 more conference games at the end of the season. And for the men's lacrosse team, they had a field day this past Saturday at UMass Dartmouth on Senior Day, 13-9. And what a senior day was for Liam Murphy and crew. The senior co-captain had a career day with 4 goals. Senior goaltender Blake Smaldone had 14 saves on 22 shots. Other seniors that scored were defenseman Giuseppe Parisi, attackman Dan Vasquez, Michael Delano, and Tim Riley. 8 different players scored in this one for Eastern. And last night, they traveled to play Western Connecticut, where they were victorious against in a 11-3 win. Tim Riley had a hat trick, and 7 different players scored for the Warriors. Blake Smaldone had 9 saves off 12 shots. And their next game for the men's comes this Saturday at Plymouth State, a 12 p.m. conference game. Currently, they are undefeated in conference play and on a 7-game winning streak with an 8-4 overall record. And to finish up for sports, the Eastern track and field team had another day of performances. Great day this past Saturday at Connecticut College. Seniors Chris Brown and Luis Rosado both placed 2nd in their events, scoring 8 points each for the Warriors. Brown in the long jump and Rosado in the 400-meter hurdles. Senior Jason Binder took 4th place in the high jump with a jump of 6 feet and 2 inches. Freshman Matt Pinney placed within top 10 in both of his events, shot put and discus. For the ladies, senior Sherry Gilronan came in 8th in the 100 with a time of 12.9 seconds. Freshman Fonta Farrow came in 10th place in the 400-meter race. The men's 4x100 team snagged 5 points, coming in fourth with a team of 44.49 seconds, and the women's 4x100 team took 8th place with a time of 56.6 seconds. Also, the women's 4x800 team came in 4th in a field of 9. The Warriors will host their only home meet of the season tomorrow, April 22nd on the turf. Field event starts at 2 and running will begin at 3, so come out and support. But that's going to do it for my mustache and for this semester with This Week in Sports. Until next semester, Eastern, as always, I am Zach Burnett.
And that's it for this week's show. If you want to see more episodes, visit the ETV YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week. Good night, Eastern, and stay amazing.